Fala galera do YouTube, tudo certo? Galera, lançou aqui faz 10 minutos o Dev Diário, beleza? Vou estar trazendo aqui um react junto com vocês para ver o que vai ter de bom nesse próximo patch, demorou? Vou iniciar o vídeo aqui então, para lá.
Hello everyone, Alan here from the Wild Rift team, ready to share
O que essa legenda tá ativa, mano? Tá tirando?
another look at what you can expect from us over the
Próximos
next
meses,
couple of
hein?
months.
Análise do ano. Vamos lá.
Before we get into what's coming up, October 27th marks a year since we first entered our regional open beta. A lot has changed in the past year, and we wanted to take a quick look back on the journey that we've taken so
Tá, eles
far.
vão fazer uma respectiva do que a gente teve esse ano. Vai falar do editor, essas fitas. Para baixar um pouquinho. Ah, os lançamentos, as skins, essas fitas, né? Os campeonatos que teve. O passe, pá. Os eventos do Sentinela da Luz. Vitória não teve não, mentira.
It's surely been a wild ride, but we're just getting started. We have a ton of exciting stuff in the pipeline for the upcoming year, and look forward to when we can unveil all of it to you.
Tá, novos campeões, vamos lá. O mais importante.
Let's talk about the upcoming patch 2.5.
Tô ansioso, hein,
2.5
mano?
brings a whole host of updates to Wild Rift, including new champions. Veigar,
toma!
Evil, is making his
brabo.
debut in a few days' time. A master of the dark arts, Veigar rains destruction and doom upon his enemies, both as a mid laner and as a support. With his wicked crowd control,
Como suporte? Como assim, mano? Fala uma fita dessa pra nós não. Ih, já tá ensinando os caras errados já, mano. Toma, Caitlyn, a linda. Melhor atiradora do PC.
Caitlyn enforces justice in the dragon lane. Set traps for your enemies and execute them with your ultimate, ace in the hole. The Sheriff of Piltover enters Wild Rift in November.
Novembro, hein?
Caitlyn on the Rift is
É Caitlyn, é Jace, defendeu, moleque, bravo, acertamos 3 vídeos, mano. Tá tirando. Bravo, bravo. Aquele vazamento certeiro, hein, mano. Atualização de mecânicas, bora. Isso é importante.
For starters, we're adding a second Rift Herald spawning later
Segundo arauto.
to draw more attention to the Baron side of the map. We're hoping that this will accomplish a few things. Give players an objective to take
Bravo, bravo.
Baron, encourage more teamfights that aren't focused at Dragon, and increase the individual carry power of a player since Herald can be taken solo. Rift Herald will also deal more damage to turrets as well as take more damage when it headbutts them. To accommodate for 2 Rift Heralds, we're delaying Baron's initial spawn time while its respawn time remains unchanged. This means Rift Herald can be captured twice before Baron enters the map. We're also increasing the time it takes for non-buff camps to respawn while improving the gold they offer. We hope this makes farming the jungle feel less hectic.
Boa, boa.
Patch 2.5 comes with one of our most important and fun features yet. Katarina, take it away.
Guildas? O que é guildas?
Hey everyone, I'm Katarina and I am so excited to talk about guilds. So, you play a few games here and there with your friends, but you wish you could do more. Wild Rift is at its best when you're playing with the people you care about. With guilds, we're giving you a new way to progress together and earn sweet rewards while doing it. Head over to the Guild tab once you're level 9 to create your own guild and invite your friends. Together, you can start your journey towards earning exclusive rewards. Creating a guild will cost 400 Poro coins or 200 wild cores, so players don't create one on a whim. When you create a guild, you'll be able to customize its name, tag, icon, and more. Your guild's name and icon will be displayed in plenty of places, such as your profile page, matchmaking banner, and on the leaderboards. If your friend wants to run the show, you can join theirs instead when they send you a nifty invite. You might be curious what's been going on at the guild while you've been grinding away. Just access the feed to stay up to date on your friends' activities.
Tipo
Here
caramba,
you can see
mano,
your guild's
legal,
open
velho.
parties and social shares.
A rede
Express your
social
reaction to
dentro
the
do
news
bagulho, tá
emotes.
ligado?
Want to brag about your latest Baron steal or line up your next 5 stack? Head to the
Olha
guild
lá,
chat
ó.
where you'll find a dedicated space to you
Deve
and
ter
your
chat,
guildmates to
mano, que fica
communicate.
salva as mensagens.
Once you've settled in, you can play with your guildies and earn extra blue motes and XP, all while racking up points to earn special rewards. We want guilds to be safe places for players to socialize. After all, the fun can only be had when players treat each other fairly. Leaders will be able to manage their guild and ensure the environment remains friendly and welcoming. Nominated officers will also be able to help keep the peace. Additionally, players will be able to report offensive guild names, tags, and descriptions. These tools should help you and your friends make sure everyone's having a good time. Before I hand it back to Alan, I want to tell you one more thing. As our biggest social feature yet, we designed the guild system as a place for players to gather and forge friendships. And what better way to strengthen those bonds than through some fiery competition? That's where guild versus guild comes.
Nossa, que legal,
You
velho.
and another guild fight on opposing sides of a champion rivalry. You'll see some interactions between that week's champions to set the stage for the
Ah, mas devia ser ranqueado, eu não vou querer jogar normal game.
matchup. Your guild has to collectively earn more supplies than your opponents. The guild with the most supplies at the end of the week wins glory for their side.
Ah, isso aí é interessante,
but more on
pô.
those later. So, how do you earn supplies? Each week has 4 community missions, most of which require teaming up with other guildmates and playing games of Wild Rift together. Everyone in the guild can contribute to these missions throughout the week. And like any good team fight, there's strength in numbers. The more guildmates you play with, the more supplies you earn. Now, here's where it gets spicy. At the start of the week, all players are given a role for the battle ahead. Half of you are considered armed and ready to fight for the cause. The other half are unarmed and will need a helping hand. If you're unarmed, no problem. Just play a game with an armed guildmate to get access to all your rewards. If you're armed, do your part to bring as much of your guild as you can into the fray. The more armed players at the end of the week, the higher your total supplies. If you had a rough start early in the week, don't worry. There's one more thing you can do to claim victory. You can still come out on top by committing sabotage. Every Friday, the guild with a smaller pile of supplies has the unique opportunity to sabotage their opponent. Sabotaging is a sneaky, last-ditch effort to reduce your opponent's final score, and all you have to do is play games with your guild. But sabotaging isn't easy. It requires the full power of friendship, so only 5 stacks of guildies can contribute to a sabotage. The winning team has a chance to defend these shenanigans by playing with their own groups of 5 to maintain their place at the top. At the end of the week, we total up your guild supplies from completed missions with a bonus based on how many of your team are armed and ready, and factoring in any sneaky sabotages. And the side with the most supplies at the end wins that week of GVG. By participating in GVG, you and your guild will earn unique rewards, such as new ways to customize guilds, bubbles, player emblems, Poro coins, and more. So, it's a lot, we know. We're hoping this will be second nature once you're in the middle of the action. We've been working on guilds for a while now, so we're super excited for you and your friends to dive in. Now, back to Ellen to tell you about all the other cool stuff coming to Wild Rift.
Ah, esse bagulho é louco, só que a gente vai ter que dar uma analisada melhor, mano. Ficou um pouco
Now that
confuso
Agram
de
is permanent
vendo
mode in
assim,
Wild Rift,
cara.
we're looking forward to continuously supporting the mode from here on out. All random, all mid is perfect for players who want to jump right into the action. ARAM is all about fast games, non-stop team fighting, while giving you a low-stakes way to test out champs that you don't play quite as often. Newly added from the last test run, Scryer's Blooms will soon appear in the Howling Abyss 2.
O passe. Bora. Ai, que medo.
We're aiming to have a new
Tristana,
pass
mano.
patch.
Tá, Tristana é
Later this
legal.
month, you'll be able to get your hands on a brand new pass featuring
Ai, bonitinha, pô.
Tristana. To give you a better understanding of the differences between
Legal,
the Basic Pass
pô.
and the Premium Pass, we've updated how rewards
Não,
are displayed.
gostei.
More rewards are also being added to the free pass track.
Atualização de gerenciamento. Esse aí é o mais importante de todos, né?
Let's talk about matchmaking in Wild Rift. Ever since the open beta began, we know matchmaking has been a pain point for players, and while we've been constantly tweaking things behind the scenes, we're making some sizable changes to improve your matches in patch 2.5. We're now going to base your games entirely on your matchmaking rating and not your rank. This will make matches much fairer overall. This change means players will sometimes see a wider rank gap in their games, such as an Emerald player in a Master Tier game. When this happens, the lower ranked player will have an icon on their loading screen card to indicate that they've been playing at a skill level above their rank. It's there to help you trust that you're being matched with and against equally skilled players. We're also tightening the gap behind the scenes on who can match together in the same game. We want you to trust that our matchmaking system is pitting you against players of similar skill while keeping your queue time short and ensuring that you can play at the position you want. Keep an eye out for a devlog later this month that deep dives into these matchmaking upgrades.
Ficou meio confuso. Depois de a gente terminar o vídeo, eu vou comentar algumas coisas.
We're making some other quality of life changes in patch 2.5 as well. We've given the share screens a visual upgrade. Now your accomplishments will look even sweeter when you show them off to your friends. For players looking to share their live gameplay, we're adding a feature that allows you to immediately begin streaming.
Acha, olha a Twitch bagaçando, mano.
Now you can connect with your viewers with a simple tap.
Novas skins, vamos lá.
As most of you know by now, a new patch means new skins. To kick things off, take a look at the Dragon Mancers. These are powerful mortals.
Nossa, olha essa skin da Caixa. Outra skin da Caixa, mano.
Whether they use that
Mastery.
or evil.
Olha que bonita. Rei de Dragão Infernal. Aurelion Sol. Dragão da Tormenta. Olha só essas skins, mano. Ash. Ah, aqui é Ash, mano. Quem que é Ash, pô? Acorda pra vida.
These skins will land in
as skins chegarão este mês.
Where you can check them out in the way of the Dragon Mancer events. Patch 2.5 is packed with new skins beyond events too. Let's take a quick peek at some other skins headed your way.
Vamos ver. Ó, Mirelia Espada Divina, linda também. Riven Espada Valorosa. Caramba, mano. Nami, Cajado do Esplendoroso. Jana Feiticeira, essa skin é bonita, hein, mano, tá louco. O Kong, Sombrio, essa skin é muito linda também. Leona Eclipse Solar, top demais. Caitlyn Caçadora de Cabeça, que eu falei que poderia ter vindo, que ia vir no último vídeo. Veigar, super vilão. Massa também, mano. Arcane, sério, bora.
Before we go, we're looking forward to diving deeper into the world of Piltover and Zorn to celebrate Arcane, our animated show launching November 6th on Netflix globally and Tencent in China. We'll have a themed event and so much more in store, so stay tuned.
Vai ter evento pra cacete, velho.
Thanks for joining us for another look at what's on the horizon for Wild Rift, and I'll see you next time.
Acabou. Não vai ter nenhum pós-crédito não, igual teve do Trash. Ah, que triste saber que não vai ter um ecozinho aí, o Morgana, Kayle. Suave, suave. Vamos comentar um pouco sobre isso aqui, ó. Não, a guilda a gente vai ter que esperar mais informações. Quero falar do pareamento, mano. Gerenciamento. Partidas. Aqui.
Matchmaking Wild Rift. Ever since the open beta began, we know matchmaking has been a pain point for players, and while we've been constantly tweaking things behind the scenes, we're making some sizable changes to improve your matches in patch 2.5. We're now going to
agora as partidas se basearão na classificação em partidas, não no ranking. Tá, então classificação em partidas, não no ranking. Ele vai falar que pode cair Esmeralda junto com o Mestre. Esmeralda na partida de Tier Mestre. Nesse caso, quem tiver um rank menor terá um ícone na tela de carregamento. Você tem jogado em um nível de habilidade acima do seu ranking. Mano, mas peraí, velho. E tipo assim, vamos analisar aqui comigo. O cara tá lá no ouro, beleza? Ele pegou a via aqui, por exemplo. O cara tá ouro. Ele amassa toda a partida, mano, de via no ouro. Aí ele tem um rank top. Aí esse ouro vai cair no meu diamante. Mas como que o jogo vai analisar se o cara tá no mesmo nível que eu? Às vezes eu só não. Às vezes eu tô jogando de Zed, não tenho um rank muito bom porque eu não jogo muito com ele, e aí cai um cara desse que tem o mesmo rank que o mesmo nível de habilidade do campeão que eu e. Sei lá, mano, sei lá.
It's there to help you
Zoado.
trust that you're being matched with and against equally skilled players. We're also tightening the gap behind the scenes on who can match together in the same game. We want you to trust that our matchmaking system is pitting you against players of similar skill while keeping your queue time short and ensuring that you can play at the position you want.
Tá, isso é importante. Aqui eles estão mexendo em alguma coisa que vai fazer a gente cair, não cair autofill. Tipo, eu não quero jogar suporte, o suporte está em último, mesmo assim o jogo joga suporte. Eles estão vendo uma forma aqui no gerenciamento para isso acontecer menos vezes.
Keep an eye out for a devlog later this month that deep dives into these matchmaking upgrades.
Tá, isso aqui não é muito interessante. Beleza. O que eu curti aqui, Caitlyn, Veigar e Jace vai estar vindo, então aquele vazamento que a gente trouxe aqui pro canal bateu em cheio. As skins também muito bonita, tá maluco. Tô louco pra ver esses eventos também que eles passaram aqui pra gente. Esse bagulho de guilda aqui, eles vão lançar lá no site deles um negócio mais explicativo e talvez a gente faz um vídeo só falando sobre esse esquema de guilda, que eu preciso dar uma estudada também pra comentar sobre. O que mais eles falou aqui? Tá, o bagulho dos dois arautos. Interessante porque vai ter mais controle de dragão. Quem tem mais arauto controla mais o dragão, então isso é muito importante também. Tá, o passe da Tristana ficou bonito, gostei. Poderia ser outro campeão, mas a Tristaninha é legal também. O bagulho da guilda, vai ter guilda versus guilda, massa. As skins muito bonitas. É isso aí, mano. Esse aqui foi o dev diário. A gente vai ter que dar uma estudada mais sobre essa guilda para dar uma comentada. Isso é uma coisa que eu acho que pouca gente imaginava que ia ter, então ninguém vai ter uma opinião formada agora. Vamos esperar alguma publicação da Riot lá no site deles, beleza? Mas é isso aí, esse aqui é mais um vídeo no canal. Quem curtiu, deixa o like, beleza? E comente aqui embaixo o que vocês achou desse dev diário. E vocês estão ansiosos igual eu, mano, pra poder jogar de Veigar, Jace com a Caitlyn, que vai vir só em novembro. Eles já falaram, mas eu acredito que a Caitlyn, o Veigar e o Jace venha já nesse mês. Eles não deu data estabelecida, só da Caitlyn mesmo. É isso aí, mano. Mais um vídeo aqui no canal. Eu vou ir nessa, valeu, falou!